Across the South Coast, live from Solent University, you're listening to Solent Sports News.
Good afternoon, it is 12 o'clock. I'm Jamie Howe with your Solent Sports News headlines. The England cricket got underway. The England cricket was disappointment for the England cricket. Sorry about that. At the World Cup in India overnight, the defending world champions have lost their opening game of cricket World Cup by 9 wickets to New Zealand. Devon Conway, Rachin Ravindra complete 2 of the best centuries in recent history. England will look to bounce back against Bangladesh on Tuesday.
Very much outplayed by New Zealand and tough defeat to take, but it is one loss. Whether we lost by a run or the margin we did today, it's still one loss at the start of what is a long tournament.
West Ham made history in Europe last night. Their 2-1 win over German side Freiburg made them the first English side to go unbeaten in 17 consecutive European games. The Hammers travel to Greece in their next Europa League clash against Olympiacos in a fortnight. The international call-ups saw some familiar faces return to England squad for the upcoming international break. Jared Bowen returns to the squad for the first time since September 2022, having scored 5 in 7 league games this season. Elsewhere, Ollie Watkins' fine form in the league sees him called up for the first time in March 2022. And locally, Southampton would normally have a multitude of players called up, but now, in the Championship, they only have Carlos Alcaraz, who has been selected for Argentina.
He is in good form. He's obviously coming in on a high. He's been with us before. We know his character. We know his personality. He's a good guy around the group. The team are playing well. He's playing for a club that are really well coached, and the team are in a good moment.
And now into the F1. Lando Norris has outlined McLaren's goals for car development ahead of this weekend's Qatar Grand Prix.
I feel like Max can still has the pace. He has a more drivable car than what we do, I think, at the minute. That's our next target with our development, is still to make it a bit quicker, but also just to make the car a bit easier to drive in different conditions. Because both Oscar and my comments are still like, you have to drive the car like this. It's on the knife edge. If you aren't pushing to 100%, we're just slow. So I feel like we're doing a good job at finding that level, but it's just very difficult. As soon as the conditions change to this, we either go one way or off this knife, and then we're just struggling a bit more.
There could be a landmark change in one of golf's major tournaments in the near future. The British Open and Women's Open have never been hosted outside the UK in its history, but that could be about to change. Port Marnock Golf Club, which has hosted the Irish Open 19 times, have expressed an interest in hosting the British Open in the future and are hoping for backing from the Irish government. Almost a year of heartache ended in the NFL last night for the Chicago Bears as they recorded their first win in 346 days to end their 14-game winless run with a 40-20 win over the Washington Commanders at FedEx Field. The action continues this weekend, with the highlight of Sunday's lineup being the Buffalo Bills and Jacksonville Jaguars clash at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, with the London Games bringing a lot of hype to the stadium. And finally, an English pairing will be reunited for the first time in 3 years this weekend. Ian Farrell and George Ford will be joining the rest of the England squad to face Samoa in the final game of the tournament.
I'm obviously pretty close to George anyway. We speak about everything rugby-wise, regardless of what the team is anyway. So we're on the same page.
And finally in tennis, unfortunately, actually,